Hi, welcome to Moina Bass Fishes, and this is Jim Moina. After today, we should probably rename this channel as Moina Tries to Bass Fish. Okay? This was day one at the MLF Toyota Series Northern Division Lake Champlain tournament, and it was not good. This was my worst performance since day two on the Harris chain back in, I think back in March. It's like 11 tournaments ago, 10, 11 tournaments ago. What went wrong? Well, let's start with the beginning of the day. Or let's start with last night. Yesterday, okay? We practiced. We got to practice yesterday, so I practiced up until about, 2:30 or 3. You had to be done by 4. And I took the time to drive. There was like an hour drive to get back here. That includes getting gas and that. And then we had to have our meeting, and then I ate, and then I started working on my gear for about an hour and a half or so. Then it started raining. So the rain is a real hindrance when you got nowhere to get away from it. So basically, I shut down my prep. Well, it didn't completely shut down my prep work because I brought some of it inside the camper here. But I probably left like 15 minutes worth of prep work, which is a minuscule amount when you compare to how much prep work I put in. I probably left like 15 minutes worth, maybe 20 minutes max to do. And I figured I'd do it in the morning. So anyways, I was boat 171 out of 217. So there was going to be a lineup at the boat landing, but I figured, well, I'm 171, I'll just show up, 40 minutes, I'll show up at 5:20 for a 6 o'clock takeoff, knowing that that's when boat 1 takes off, knowing that my actual takeoff time wouldn't probably be until 6:15, 6:20, because it takes that long to process 171 boats, me being 171. So I get to the landing at 5:20. Honestly, God, it took me like, it took, I think it was past 6 o'clock by the time I got loaded or got the boat unloaded and got into the boat, parked the truck and got into the boat. By then it was past 6 o'clock. So then I got to race over to the check boat, go through boat check, boat check. What they do is they look in your live wells, make sure your pumps work. They want you to test your kill switch, and then they throw you a bobber with your number on it, and then they record, down that, hey, you're here, and you've gone through boat check. So I did that. Then I got to pick up my co-angler. So that was quick though, because he was in a friend's boat, just floating out there, and it was easy to find him. So that went well. But by the time he got in the boat, they were already calling for like boat 135 or 140 already. So that didn't leave me. So where was this 15, 20 minutes I was going to spend in the morning? It's gone. I can't do that. So I do a couple little things that I can. And next thing you know, we're taking across Lake Champlain in the boat, behind the boat wakes of 170 boats plus a choppy wind. So it was kind of a choppity chop running across the lake today. So anyways, I get to my first spot, and on my first cast, it was with a spinning reel, major freaking just tangle. I made the cast and it just major tangle. So it took me a little bit of time to work through that. And not only that, I got stuff. I mean, I got other stuff that's just tangled from the rough boat ride because it wasn't stored the way I like to store it because I didn't have time to do it. And then, of course, the fish aren't on my first spot. I was surprised I even got the fish there because there had been, every time I've stopped there twice since I've been here, and each time there's all kinds of fish on it. But not this morning. We caught like 2 like this. And of course, when I had that big tangle going on, that's when I caught one of the little tiny ones after dragging the bait around for like 10 minutes. I did get it untangled. I didn't cut it because I didn't want to cut the line on that rod because that's the rod I wanted to eat. I needed it. So anyhow, but then it just, I couldn't get on fish. Okay, couldn't get on fish. So then I'm like, all right, let's go try this other spot. Well, there's a guy. When I get there, there's a guy netting a fish right where I want to be sitting. So but it's kind of an area. So I'm like, well, I can check out the rest of this area, which I did, and I caught a couple short fish and no keepers. So now, after all that, then I go largemouth fishing, and I catch one. Well, I caught probably like 6 largemouths, but only one was a keeper. It was a 15-inch minimum size for this tournament. I ended up catching like a 15-inch smallmouth, and then another little smallmouth, and after, I don't know, well past halfway through the day, I finally get a limit. It's probably a limit for about 10, 11 pounds, which is nothing. You might as well have 0. So, anyways, so we go to another spot, and it's a place where I caught a 3.5-pound largemouth, another largemouth, and just some decent smallies, just lickety split quick. And we get there and we fish, and nothing's going. I get right to the sweet juice. Nothing's happening. I'm not marking any fish. I'm just about ready to call it quits here. Then all of a sudden I see a fish swim across the active target, not too far in front of the boat. Throw out there, hook the fish, fight him for about 5 seconds, and he comes off. Okay, it's the first one I've lost. All right, no big deal. I mean, it sucks, but it's the way it goes. So then I make like 2 more casts right to where I hook that one. Then I hook another one. And by the way, that one I lost, it wasn't a runt. That's all I can say. After 5 seconds, you don't know if you got a 2-pounder or a 4-pounder sometimes. So, anyways, fast forward. I make 2 casts, hook up again, fight this fish for 5 seconds, and it's gone. And this is on an eco rig where I have an excellent hookup to land ratio. Excellent. But lo and behold, now I've lost that one. And then so then I'm like camping here for a while. I end up losing another one. Never saw that one either. saw him on the scope, active target, and lost that one on the same rig. And and by now I've checked the hook. The hook's still just as good as new. The point's awesome. I don't know what's going on. I just should not lose 3 in a row like this. So anyways, we stay on the spot too long, burn too much time. My co-angler finally caught his first fish, which was nice. And gosh, where do we go from there? We got done with there, and then we only got like an hour and a half left now at this point. And so then we go back to this other place I haven't been to, but it had a lot of fish in practice, and immediately we start catching some fish. I caught 2 like fish that didn't help me, and then I caught my biggest one, which was like a 3.5, 3 3/4. And then just a few casts after that, I hook up a fish, fighting it. It jumps, throws the bait. This was on a swim bait. So great, and it was a quality fish. It wasn't a 3 3/4, but it was 3 1/4, 3.5-ish. I mean, it was easy. It would have been well over a pound upgrade over my small one. So then we fished for a while, and we're starting to run out of time. And then finally I run into a couple more fish, and they all come on. I think I lost this is what happened. My koi angler caught one, and then he caught another. And here's a little tip for you. When I'm there ready with the net, okay? In a team tournament, I'd be throwing my bait in where his fish is. But I had to net his fish. So as soon as he gets the fish in the boat with the net, I throw right in there, and the fish are just cracking this thing, and I'm setting the hook, nothing. Then boom, set the hook, nothing. Boom, set the hook, nothing. Boom, finally hook up one, comes off. Okay, so then I'm like cast around, and then I start looking around with the active target, and then I'm like, oh, I see him like right on the bottom over, to the left. So I'm like, I pick up my Nico rig instead of the swim bait, throw that down there, nothing, throw it again, nothing. All of a sudden hook him up, got him. It's a nice one. I'm fighting him. He jumps, still got him. Then he's getting closer to the boat. Then he pulls, does a deep dig away from me, comes off. It's like, holy smokes, this is getting to be ridiculous. So anyhow, I think that was the last one. No, I hooked up again. Another one. Hooked him up on the swim bait. He jumps once, still got him. Jumps twice, throws the bait. And this was literally with like 5 or 10 minutes left to go. And then my co-angler catches one, like as I'm strapping my rods down. He catches his fourth one. And then we got to get out of there. Run all the way back to weigh-in. I got 5 minutes. I spent an entire day of practice scouting out, places to fish right within the takeoff area. So I go to my first waypoint. Well, actually, there's 3 waypoints all close together. So I go to the first one, nothing. Then I race over to the next one, make one cast, got my second biggest fish of the day. It was like a 3 1/4-ish, something like maybe slightly bigger. And so there's my limit, 14.3. But I've really had a bad case of the disease known as getaway-itis, the bass getaway-itis. Dang it, I didn't need that happening. I mean, seriously, I had 2 decent fish. I had one 3.5, 3 3/4, another one 3 1/4, 3.5, and then just 3, sub 3 pounders, which gave me 14.3. I mean, I had several fish on that all 3 of them fish those sub 3s never should have been in the live well. I don't understand, especially that Nico rig. That swim bait is sometimes prone to lose fish like that. So it doesn't have quite the hookup to land ratio that the Nico rig does. So, but still, I've switched out my swim bait head tonight. I went to one size hook bigger, so hopefully that makes a difference. We'll find out. But anyhow, 14.3, what is it? I'm in the 139th place with 14.3 out of 217. I figure had things not gone so crazy bad for me, 17 pounds anyways. But you know what? 17 pounds isn't nothing. 17 pounds is getting like 80th place. I remember when this lake was, I mean, if you had 15 pounds a day, you were like, right at the bubble cut for a check. And that is, I mean, you could bring in 17 today, 17 tomorrow, walk out of here with just a thank you, and that's all you got. So, but anyways, so a lot of that. And then, so what, after a day like this, like I said, it was my worst day of competition as far as performance since the Harris chain earlier this year. And then that term I got 112th out of 155-ish. So, man, so I was really, I mean, for me to get a check tomorrow, I'm going to literally have to bring in, it's going to take like 18 a day, so that's 36. So I got to get to 36 pounds. I need like a 22-pound bag, which I don't think there's been a 22-pound bag. There wasn't one weighed today. There wasn't one weighed in the BFL over the weekend, and there wasn't one weighed in the 4 days of our tournament for the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit tournament. So it's kind of disheartening to kind of realize that you're odd. I mean, sure, there's a 22-pound bag out there or whatever. I mean, the biggest bag I've seen is 24-ish out of this lake. And that was all largemouth. Probably 10 years ago. So anyhow, my challenge tomorrow is to get 20 pounds. I'm just going to try to get 20 pounds. It probably won't get me checked anyways, but I just want to do it. I haven't done it since I've been here. I've got an area that's got quality fish in it. It's the area where we finished on today. There's quality fish there. If I can fish there all day, maybe I'll have 20 pounds. Maybe. We'll see. There was some nice ones in there in practice too, so if a guy really leans on it hard, maybe something can happen really good there. Anyhow, that's it for this recap of day one. It's, I don't know. I got to think of some kind of clickbait title for this video. But that ain't right. This is what I want to call this video. This is what I want to call it, but I just can't. I want to call it catastrophic, disastrous, amazingly catastrophic, disastrous day one at Lake Champlain. So, but it wasn't. It wasn't that, so I'm not going to put that as the title. So, anyways, thanks for watching, guys and gals. Over.